What's going on, workforce? Brian and Chris here today, and tonight, or today, either way, whatever time you're watching this video, we're going to be talking about the latest update for the EU centers from Yoshi-P. Another letter from the producer who communicates incredibly well for this community. So we're going to dive into it, cover that here, but the links will all be in the description below. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share to Work the Game if you guys want these and enjoy these type of news posts. Chris, how's it going, man?
It's going good. It's going good. There's a lot of news.
Lots of news today.
Greetings, Final Fantasy XIV players. This is your producer and director, Naoki Yoshida. Thank you very much for sharing my recent message about reducing server congestion throughout the player base so quickly, and for your many kind and understanding replies. With your support, our plans to address the situation are proceeding apace, so I would like to update you regarding our progression with the European data centers. This is like, less than 48 hours after he previously said, we'll tell you when we have more news.
Yeah, exactly.
So, increased login caps on the EU data centers. We have determined that by rotating some of the high-spec machines that comprise the European data centers into a new configuration and optimizing our equipment accordingly, we'll be able to increase the caps of simultaneous logins by roughly 500 characters per world server, an increase of 6,000 for all EU data centers for the time being. In order to accomplish this, we must conduct emergency maintenance on EU data centers for about 4 hours on Thursday. We will make an official announcement of the maintenance schedule shortly. Once the maintenance has finished, we plan to monitor the situation closely and will consider whether the cap can be increased further while preserving server stability. We realize that this sudden maintenance is inconvenience, but I ask for your understanding and cooperation. We have received and reviewed a great number of comments on my previous announcement. Thank you again. One particular type of feedback caught my eye, however, players saying, I'll stop dancing in Limsa for a while, or I guess we shouldn't log in to watch our monitors while we eat. I myself have played many an MMO, so I know how watching other players bustle past during mealtimes physically and mentally prepares you for your challenging dungeons later, and how a spontaneous dance performance can brighten everyone's day. These are ways of role-playing, and they are part of the fun in MMORPGs. Therefore, I want you to know that while I deeply appreciate you being considerate, activities such as the above are part of the game too, and you don't need to show so much restraint that you stop having fun. We have implemented the automatic logout feature, which will log you out if you do not interact with the game for an extended period, so allowing that system to do its job is enough. Please continue to enjoy Final Fantasy XIV in your own way, and show our new players how alive its world is with adventures of all sorts. On a related note, we are aware that the automatic logout feature is causing difficulties for those adventurers who fish, as catching the elusive big fish requires one to be logged in for an extended period. It is, of course, fine to remain logged in for this purpose, and having to constantly make inputs to prevent auto logout from occurring while fishing is frustrating. So we are currently discussing how to address this issue. We ask for your patience, and we'll let you know as soon as we find a solution. Some of you may find sentiments here to be at odds with my previous message, but I sincerely wish you to continue enjoying this game without reservations. Meanwhile, we will strive to create a better gameplay environment for all of our warriors of light. Naoki Yoshida, Final Fantasy XIV, producer, director, and hero of the masses.
What's really interesting, because it's I don't feel like this is at odds with what he said previously, because essentially he's just explaining the shifts in what they're bringing into the game. So automatic logout, we were even thinking like that was coming. So seeing that actually introduced, not a surprise, but also then essentially like the free trial thing, I think was the most surprising thing, because it's like, okay, yeah, we're going to have to fulfill our obligation to those who are paying for the game over somebody who is just checking out the free trial. And it's such a unique position to be in. But at the same time, this kind of follows it up and saying, yes, you know, like, we are aware, we are working on it, but don't stop having fun, because at the end of the day, like, you don't want a lot of people, you know, getting on and worrying that they're hurting the game, or they're hurt, you know, like, oh, Yoshi-P asks to stop playing. No, not at all. Like, I think essentially what's really great to see is the continued increase in active users and more, and the changes they're making here to the EU data centers. I think hopefully will help alleviate some of that. Obviously, the biggest alleviation is that if this keeps going up, the only thing they can do is throw hardware at the problem. And that's a good problem to have. And it's an unfortunate problem to have in 2021, where Silicon is is holding up everything. So it's literally holding up everything. You want a new car? Sucks to be you. Like we need everybody's like in line and waiting to try to get some of this sweet hardware, get their 3080s installed in their new cars.
Meanwhile, China's running it over.
Yeah, they're just littered with iPhones on the floor.
Just destroying ASIC miners with literal steamrollers. I don't know if you've seen those posts.
Mm-hmm. So they're increasing the logins roughly by 500 characters per world server. Like that, I think is a good, strong move. And especially with auto logout, like I'm really curious to see if in the next week or two, if like even with its growth, like if that will end up being something that is alleviated. But if you've been on the fence, guys, I would highly encourage you that with these changes they've made, whether you're in whatever data center you're in, is to see if you can't get your character, get started right now, keep going. We have links in the description if you're curious. That doesn't financially benefit us one way or the other. We just want people to play and have fun with these games. And I just am curious to see, like, do they do another round of this? Do they monitor to see if the system's stable? Because the worst case scenario is you end up ruining the experience for everybody who is playing. You've been playing, Chris. How's the performance been on your system since they made these updates?
I mean, so I get a little bit of intermittent lag in spikes in places where there's a lot of people. So the capital city is currently the Golden Saucer during the Make It Rain campaign. In dungeons, it runs fine. When I'm out in my own zones, it runs fine. Yesterday, I got a chance to go try to kill Foxy Lady. It was the first time I've ever seen her up, and we didn't have enough people in Yangsha to get the kill, so we got her to like 4% when the fate timed out, and there was no lag. There was no lag, and so I'm perfectly capable of having my favorite and least favorite moments in 14 just the same. What I have found is that, like, as I did like a crafting stream yesterday, I would buy what I needed from like a market board in a housing district. I would find that, it's easier for me. Like if I need to go to a capital city for something, it's easier for me to finish what I need to do there and then teleport back to a free company house or somewhere else so that I can interact with the game with less risk of kind of sudden lag spikes. But that's a sign of a healthy game. Like it's a sign of a game that's running at capacity. That's a good thing. It's kind of weird if your favorite restaurant literally never has a wait. You walk in and you're the only person sitting in there.
Yeah. The for the free trial players and anybody who has not yet, just note that they've actually just discounted the game again. The complete edition over 50 or 60% off is like $24 or $25. So it's like, hey, we're having this record success. Have you heard about the critically acclaimed free trial? Oh, do you actually want to play because servers are capacity? Well, guess what? It's now on sale, so you guys can actually not have to futz with with that, and it comes with 30 days of game time. I wonder if that's good.
There's a big Mog Station sale going on for the Make It Rain campaign as well. So for things like story skips and all that, for the people that don't want to play the story, I understand the community is so mad about story skips. Remember, New Game Plus is a thing, but yeah, there's discounts across the board. So however you want to play. Yoshi-P's even saying here, if you want to dance in Limsa, dance in Limsa.
If you want to dance.
However you want to play, just come play.
100%.
I didn't realize the complete edition was on sale.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, oh my gosh, like here we are, and now they're just going to continue to leverage that. I think you're going to probably see those sales bounce in and out. So we'll get you guys go check out the sale and see if it's something that is good for you to take advantage of. This is really important because
I wonder if that's because they put the free trials said that they would not be able to hop into queues, and people were like, now we're being penalized. And I'm like, fine. And like, we're not trying to hold the money hostage.
Right. Here. $25 solves the problem.
We forgive the money.
Like, plus it also, like, if you guys want to help fund us some new servers, like that's a unique way of actually like saying, yeah, people are here. People are here to really play, and $25 for, especially for a month. And all the content's really key. Here's what's kind of like one of the things I would say for anybody, especially on the fence, who doesn't know. Like Endwalker comes with Shadowbringers and all the previous expansions, but that only happens when that is released. So if you're sitting here saying like I pre-ordered Endwalker, but I only have like the base game, you do need the complete edition, or you do need like the Shadowbringers expansion to kind of apply to your account, so that way you can get to Endwalker. Otherwise, you will be waiting. And that's just the way that it is set up.
That's because of the way pre-orders work. So what would technically happen is people would have the ability to buy Endwalker and then play, and then in November 18th, cancel their pre-order. And they would technically have already been given access to Stormblood. And so their character would be in this state where, like, if they revert your account back to not owning Stormblood, you now have a character that is a level and a class and in a location that you don't have access to.
Mhm.
And so you would lock yourself out of the game. And so it's just a side effect of it. So the goal is not like, hey, you pre-order the game, you can't have access, ha 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 ha. And I think that's evident by these like massive sales that have been going. Steam had a recent one with the summer sale at 60%.
Mhm.
FanFest, there was one going on for like up to a week after that was like 60% off. There was these massive sales on the price of the complete edition where they're saying, no, come join us.
100%. So that's the news. I don't think we need to labor the information longer. Just guys, let us know what you're thinking regarding the EU, especially if you're in the EU. Does this help alleviate any of the pressure on the servers? Has this last week gone a little bit smoother? Obviously, as we gear up to go into the weekend, we're going to see we're wondering to see if we see a new spike. Will we break 70K? Will we break 80K on Steam? Which is really the metric we have to go off of. Because we really don't have any other really like more accurate metrics to go for now. So note that it is obviously much higher, the active player base. And we do thank you guys, and I'll welcome everybody who's new to the Final Fantasy XIV community to this amazing game. Chris, why don't you take us out?
Well, thank you, Yoshi-P, for once again, I mean, this is like the third or this is like the second or third time we're hearing from him this week.
Yeah.
So it's astounding how transparent and communicative somebody with such a busy job can be, and we do appreciate it. So for Brian and Chris, thank you so much. You guys have a great day. Take care.